there might be a timestamp in case you just want to skip forward, but otherwise, yes, as the future thumbnail probably already, oh my goodness, really, as the future thumbnail should probably already show, we're just going to be diving quickly into this Nefia. That being said, as I just go through here, again, a lot of stuff on my plate. Don't really want to talk about that too much. Usually I like to keep basically video game talk about specific video games. Can I mind this, by the way? No. About specific video games in videos about those video games. But otherwise, yeah, here we are. I'm not doing well, all things considered. I really should have just kept my... just making sure that my ally doesn't die here. Well, one, that the ally doesn't die, but should have kept training at home on the training dummy, because there's no reason for me to just go in when I'm not prepared. That being said, this is the Nefia to do. Am I saying that right? I'm going crazy because I was looking up things up earlier, so I'm getting all the vocab in my head mixed up. But as I sit here, yeah, basically I could be playing Elin for a long time if I so choose. So I am essentially on an Elin. What's the word? I'm on an Elin grind, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, because otherwise I'm going crazy. Basically, still learning a lot of stuff, if not just the pronunciation of this game's name myself, but other stuff. Again, if I didn't already mention it in the first trying to play video, I don't know if this is still going to be considered a trying to play video, but I need to move forward here. I need to move forward! But yeah, I did play Arona, but not to any long extent. So I am essentially fresh and free into basically this game in its series, really. There are 2 games in the series, I think. Why did I hear there was some... never mind, I'm not going to mention that because it might be misinformation. But otherwise, just know I did play Arona, but it wasn't very long, basically, because yeah, and it didn't go well, as expected. I remember dying 3 times because I immediately jumped right into an enemy, and I didn't understand how the systems work. Keep in mind that this was a long time ago, like, literally, at least, I want to say, 5 to 10 plus years, because I don't exactly remember when I was playing, so... yeah, I was a lot younger and a lot more brash. Not saying that I'm not brash now, because if you've seen the other videos on this channel, you know exactly what I mean by that. Especially when it goes into the topic of RNG. But otherwise, yeah, here in Elin, again, I am essentially working as a fresh player. Also, just to note by the UI, I made some changes. Still getting used to what I want on screen and what I might not want on screen, but again, we'll deal with it. Basically, we're just going to go until we see the... see a certain locked place. I can't use that because I am, if to note, because I don't even remember all the names. Yeah, Kumiromi. So we're going harvest, and here's the corridor. But really, we're just going to explore the rest of this second floor, just for the sake of trying to grab any loot. Can I actually... wait, did I bring a thing? I did not bring a hammer for whatever reason. And just to note really quickly... oh, wow, that's a room to walk into. Yeah, just to note really quickly, if you're wondering why I'm not using certain strategies, because I have looked a few things up here and there, it's because I'm just trying to roleplay and immerse myself, so I will not be doing certain things immediately. I'll probably do it on a later run, or another file, or a third file, really, because the second one I want to go more laid back, if that makes any sense. Not that I'm not laid back here, but again, I'm just still learning the game, so... off I go. But yeah, just also at the end of this, probably going to switch some settings around, and I will just live with myself. Probably going to return to base and actually just wait for everything to sell. Just going to grab some extra stuff here while I can. I'm definitely not going to be burdened for a moment, so... now, obviously, this will just squash me, but... hey, things. So, yeah. Can't really do much with that. We do this. I should probably set... so I was playing around whether or not I wanted to do double-click and hold. Double-click hold? Again, I'm still exploring a lot of the settings, so I'm just going to see what is more comfortable for me. You just appeared out of there, out of nowhere. Just making sure we explore everything here. Because, yeah, I probably have not explored everything I could have. So, we will explore. Because loot! Now, yes, at a certain... like, literally the fact that the crafting system, I think, was quote-unquote abandoned, and I'm phrasing other people mentioning the plans for this game's design, just making sure I didn't get anything stolen from me, but basically it's to the point where I just want to literally make a quick RPG Maker game about crafting things. Really? Well, alright. Note that because this is a really a very sandbox-like game, you can get a lot of strange things happening in the game. Now, there from a design slash developer slash fun standpoint for players, fun for players standpoint, that does result in a lot of cool things. For some players, it might be more freeform, but again, at this point, it's more so that's all of that kind of topic is up to player preference. Period. That's the end of the sentence. So, yeah, and that's right up my alley. It's not for some people. Are we going to be able to? Yeah, probably Gisner will die before I have to worry about that. But otherwise, we finally get Bird in here, and off we go. Could have looted more there, but it's fine. So, as we go through this, I completely forgot that this is this is happening all the meanwhile. I just happen to be recording at this moment. But just to talk about other things as I light this rock, yeah, it's... There are some positives and negatives to Elin. I can definitely see it, but for me, it's right up my alley. So 80 to 90%. If we're to overlap my interests with what this game can provide, it's like 80 to 90%, and a good the other 10% is mostly made up of basically a crafting system. But just to let you know now, like actually making a crafting system that is very intuitive and fun is a lot of work. So I would not. If say the dev were in a position where he, she, or they would have to sacrifice development on other parts of the game and or just making a system, crafting slash smithing system, then yeah, specifically smithing. I'm usually of the opinion of wanting to smith. I repeated myself because I was trying to figure out where my boxes are. I did not set up dumping, by the way, so that's why I'm floundering around here at the moment. But otherwise, we're just going to sell everything else, and we'll let the game at least sell everything before I move on here. So just making sure that I am not holding on to anything. I'm probably just going to end up selling everything else anyway, but you get the point. Also, you'll note that, does this count as... well, I forgot the phrase. Basically, these blue slots are the cooler here, if that wasn't already apparent. For those who don't know Elin at all, this game does have a rotting system, and you can make things rot slower, or not rot at all. So, yeah, but otherwise, we're just going to sell everything here. Probably should just keep some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is more like material-like, like the, not the wooden longbow, like these scraps. But otherwise, unless scraps are actually junk, again, there's a lot I have to look into. But otherwise, we're just going to go off and do something. Probably just going to train with this training dummy. I can make as many arrows as I want. Listneth can go back to doing stuff. Does that count? I think it counts as her doing being able to go off into her own work. But otherwise... yeah, I don't want to pick that up, so could just probably train other skills, but I'm role-playing as an archer here. Well, really gunner. I think I picked gunner, but you get the point. We're trying to be a ranged... I'm playing ranged here for the moment. Primarily bow, but also want to get to guns, but obviously can't really do that yet, unless I plan to just basically employ some certain strats to basically... or not basically, it will accelerate my progress in-game. But I don't want to do that, so... shrug. But otherwise, let's rest here, and this probably won't even rest till the next day, but it's fine. Again, I have enough materials to make more than enough arrows for the time being, but yeah, we're just gonna train here. So, without further ado, if I run out of space, let's make sure none of these are stale. Actually, probably should just make arrows, just to know how many arrows I can. I say I have enough to make a bunch of arrows, but I probably actually don't. So, yeah, not really as much as I thought. But it's fine for the moment. So yeah, just using granite slabs here, and then obviously vines that have to gather, but it's fine. Immediately 200 plus arrows again, which I will use just to train again. What is my bow skill at right at the moment? We are at 7.45, which is by nowhere near. Basically, and I think it is valid criticism that there is no way to essentially accelerate progress. So basically, the game is very grindy. So to some people, that's just fine. For me, it's just fine. But obviously, especially in this day and age, as we get hungry here, whoops. In this day and age where people want to, there are a lot of video games to play, among other things. Yeah, I understand why that is actually... I do think that's a negative for a lot of games, if that is relevant to your game. So, and the way to... my Band-Aid fix, if I were to offer any possible decisions. Possible changes would be to somehow basically settings. So I forgot what game does this, but you get to explain myself in a more general sense. Basically, allow the player to. A very simple version is to add a multiplier to experience or feat experience and things like that. Make growth times faster for everything that grows, crops, trees, so on and so forth. And that would alleviate a lot of the quote-unquote slow / grindy gameplay. So yeah, without further ado, there just wanted to see how much I got there. All these crops grew, but not really much else to do. So as I save it really quickly here, not really much else to say. Actually, I should just at least give about 15-20 seconds for the end screen. But yeah, if you have anything to say, any comments, criticism, I'm looking at OBS. This was only like 11 to 12 minutes long, but you get the point. Again, even just a simple, well, I say simple, it can be hard to implement and can be very buggy, but giving a multiplayer to experience as a setting that can be toggled would be nice to quote unquote remove the grindiness if there are players that don't want as much as a grind. Again, I don't really mind. I'm just offering a suggestion if you were to ask me one. I usually like to offer a suggestion anyway. But yeah, without further ado, there could be a lot to talk about, but that's enough for this video. Not going to take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!